Hey everybody in the VC, this is Matt, and thought I would come on and do a video response to a thread by a wonderful young lady named Tammy that goes by the Music Beauty Life. Didn't know about her channel, but I saw Adam Lee had done a response to a thread on her channel today, and had 9 questions. I thought it was kind of a interesting set of questions, so I went over and found Tammy's channel and watched a couple of her videos and subscribed to her, and thought I would just jump in and give a response myself. So 9 questions. We'll go through this, try to go through this pretty quick. The first one is who is your go-to band at the moment? Beatles is always a good answer, but that's kind of all the time. But I've talked about this lady in the last few videos, the last couple of months, Lydia Loveless. I've discovered her back around the first of the year. There's an autographed copy of her album that I got when I saw her in concert about 3 weeks ago. She's 23. This is her fourth album if you count the EP she put out last year. Just can't quit listening to her and can't quit talking about her. Most exciting thing that's happened to music in 30 years, in my opinion. But I'm going to do a video on just talking about her pretty soon. This is her newest album that just came out in February. This is the one that came out in 2011 or 2012. Yeah, I don't know, it doesn't say here, but anyway. And then she put an EP out last year, which was my favorite record of the year. So that would be her. As far as what I've been listening to a lot lately, pretty much nonstop, with the exception of a few when I bought a few new records here and there, a little in between there. So, your go-to band, it's the Beatles, always has been, and so that was easy. There are several others. The Kinks, the Jam, the Shangri-Las are always a go-to band. Sly and the Family Stone, Otis Redding. So that would be that. Favorite movie soundtrack? Question number 3. Well, there's 2 types of soundtracks. I think there's someone does original music for a movie, sort of like what I'm thinking of that I like is the old Clint Eastwood and those other spaghetti westerns with the spaghetti western music, I guess you call it. But like what's his name, Morricone. Not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, but I like that stuff. I don't have any of it on vinyl or CD, but I like that stuff a lot. And there's a movie called Elevator to the Gallows from the 50s, French movie. It's got a really good looking girl in it. It's always a plus. It's kind of like a Hitchcock movie, but it's not by Hitchcock. But if you love Hitchcock, it's definitely worth checking out. It's a really good movie, and Miles Davis did the soundtrack to that, and that I don't have that, unfortunately. That's on my to-buy list, but Elevator to the Gallows is worth checking out if you find the soundtrack. It's worth checking out the movie if you run across the movie or have Netflix or good video rental store by you. I don't know if they still have video rental stores, I'm not really sure, but the other kind of soundtrack is where it's not so much the original music, like was it the guy that did the music for Jaws, or just John Barry or whatever, that did the stuff for Star Wars and stuff like that. But it's the other kind is where you have a bunch of songs and they might be original for the movie, like when Simon and Garfunkel, I think they wrote those songs specifically for The Graduate, but it might be other songs that have been around for a while. And well, I mean, Hard Day's Night and Help, I guess, would be soundtracks technically, but my pick, Valley Girl, one of my favorite movies too. This is the original album, which went out of print pretty quick, so they're pretty hard to find. I'm not sure why this went out of print. I think there was some kind of problem with them not getting permission from one of the acts on here or something. So, but what was this, 1983 movie, and so you got Modern English, Melt With You, Psychedelic Furs, The Plimsolls, Josie Cotton, Men at Work. Great album. I've got didn't pull it. I should have. I've got two CDs that came out later, actually came out in the 90s, I think, that have a lot more of the music, because this only has 9 songs, and there were a lot more than 9 songs in the movie. So the CDs actually contain a lot more and have a lot of the stuff that was in the movies that's not on there. Um, Another one would be Rushmore, the Wes Anderson movie, which I don't have a copy of, and I don't know if that's going to show up. Marie Antoinette, the Sofia Coppola movie. I really like all her movies. I haven't seen what's the latest one, The Bling Ring. I haven't seen that one yet, but seen all the rest and really like them. But this is I like this movie a lot, and it's got Susie and the Banshees, Bow Wow Wow, The Strokes, about them, but New Order, Gang of Four, Adamant, The Cure, stuff like that, which seems kind of strange for a movie about Queen of France in 1700s, but it fits in with the movie, and it's a good soundtrack anyway. Either way, I should say. So, favorite movie soundtracks, okay. Favorite song, I think it's favorite song of all times. I don't know if it said song or songs. Help by the Beatles is my favorite song of all time. Some others, just off the top of my head, would be Waterloo Sunset by the Kinks, Change is Gonna Come, the Sam Cooke version, Let's Spend the Night Together, Ruby Tuesday by the Rolling Stones, Train to Kansas City, Shangri-La's See Emily Play by the Pink Floyd, as they were called then, Monday by the Jam, Janie Jones by the Clash. So I could go on and on, but those would be in my God Only Knows by the Beach Boys would be another. So those would be kind of some of my favorites there. Number 5 is your most embarrassing song on iTunes. I'm not really embarrassed by anything that I have on there. If I didn't want it on there, I wouldn't have it on there. So if somebody kind of looks down on something that I have on there, that's their right to do. I don't really care. If I absolutely had to pick, I've got kind of a goofy song called Stupid Cupid by Mandy Moore from some movie that she made when she was 10 years old or whatever, but kind of like the song, so it's on there. Uh, let's see. The next one, number 6, is your top 3 songs on iTunes. I really don't know because I have an iPod. It's got about 9,000 songs loaded on it, and I play it fairly often, but I rarely ever go to something on there or just bring up, the Rolling Stones or whatever. I 99% of the time when I play shuffle, where it's just whatever comes up next comes up next. So I don't know what the top 3 that have played. There's a ton of Beatles stuff on there, all the official stuff, some of the bootleg stuff. So probably have more Beatles than anything else on there. So they probably pop up more than anyone else, I suppose. But it seems like when I'm listening to it on shuffle, the Beatles pop up a bunch, and a lot of soul music compilations that I've loaded on there. A lot of those are things like Curtis Mayfield and Otis Redding and the People You Know, and a lot of them are just sort of obscure, no-name bands that were put on these various artist compilations. So, hope that answers that question. Number 7, favorite concert. Used to be a place called the Bronco Bowl in Dallas that was actually a bowling alley and a concert hall that went way back, way back, and they tore it down, unfortunately, in about 10 years ago to make like a handy one of those hardware stores that they've got about 1 million of around, Home Depot, I think it was. So I used to see concerts there. I saw Springsteen played there, but I didn't see him there. But I saw the Go-Go's, I saw the Clash, the Pretenders, quite a few concerts there back in the 80s, and it was always fun because you could, after the show, you could go around the back of the building and hang around, and 9 times out of 10, the band would come out and talk to people and sign autographs. So got a lot of autographs at that place from Chrissie Hynde, Joe Strummer. The Animals reunion tour in '83, they played there. So seeing the Clash there was maybe the Kinks. I saw them 3 times. That might rank as my favorite of all, though, because every time I saw them in 80, 83 and 85, and somehow I always managed to not get front row seats, but get within the first 3 or 4 rows, and so we were right up there at the stage. Uh, don't know how that happened. It's just sort of luck of the draw, but I'll say the Kinks. And of course, I've seen McCartney a couple of times, so that would be up there. Uh, Two artists that you think are underrated, um, and I didn't pull anything from that. I should have it in look ahead. Uh, the Jam, English band. They were huge in England. They weren't that big in America. They should have been a lot bigger. Dexy's Midnight Runners would be my second one because everyone knows Come On Eileen, but there's a lot more to them than that, and a lot of people don't like that song. Some people like it. I like it, but a lot of their stuff is way better than Come On Eileen, and they actually had a couple of 2 or 3 hits in England. They only had that one hit here, but unfortunately, not many people know about them over here past Come On Eileen. So. Last one is favorite quote from a song. That one I should have got right away, but it's one of those where you ask it and you just stop dead, and I couldn't think of anything. But watching her skirt, you start to flirt. Now you're in gear from Good Morning, Good Morning. The Beatles is one. Just trying to think of some. The Springsteen from No Surrender. We learned more from a 3-minute record, baby, than we ever learned in school. From Tunnel of Love, Bruce Springsteen again. Ought to be easy, ought to be simple enough. Man meets woman and they fall in love, but this house is haunted and the ride gets rough, and that's certainly true. The Kinks with Death of a Clown. The trainer of insects is crouched on his knees and frantically looking for runaway fleas. Always got a laugh out of that. And The Clash from White Man in Hammersmith Palais. I think that's how you pronounce it, but the line that says and he pronounces it Adolf instead of Adolf, but if Adolf Hitler flew in today, they'd send a limousine anyway, which is probably also true. So anyway, there you go. Nice to find your channel, Tammy, and thanks to Adam Lee for posting his video, and that's how I found it, and hope everyone's having a good day. We'll see ya.